Girl, we got some tea?
With the honey and the sugar.
Nah, we gonna need some wine for this one.
Well, wine me, please.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Wine Me Please podcast. We have a lovely guest with us today, Cassandra. Hey, y'all. Say hey to the people, girl.
Hi.
She a little shy, but we gonna listen her up, okay?
Y'all, this month, this is March, and we are embracing Women's History Month and Social Work Month.
Social work club.
Exactly, because we're all social workers in different capacities. So that's why Cassandra is here to tell us her form of social work. But before we even dive into that, okay, y'all, let's get into the wine of the day.
Y'all, we got something from your girl, Tabitha Brown. Okay, guys, of course, she does more than just make salt-free seasoning. She got wine too, okay? So, this is wine with notes of white peach and honeysuckle with an aroma of orange blossom. It's vegan, so it wasn't made around no animals either, like Oreos. It pairs well with fresh summer fruits like melon, green grapes, mango, and pineapples, and it's 8% alcohol. So unlike some of the wines that these heathens be trying, they be like 12, 15, 14%. Tabitha Brown kept it a little light and give you a little summertime buzz, okay? And we also are not going to skip out for our wine lovers who are not indulgent in the alcohol part of the wine. We have Free. Free has an alcohol-free Moscato. And to me, because I used to drink this while I was pregnant, it does still give a little alcohol bite. So it's a what is it called? Placebo.
Mm-hmm. Placebo. Yeah. Placebo.
All right, and then what we got on the shoot? What we got on the shoot? Oh, we're gonna taste this first. Then we'll talk about what's on the board.
Okay, y'all know the drill.
Swirl it, sniff it, sip it.
Okay.
Oh, you supposed to tell us
first. Look, reach, girl. In spirit.
My bad. Y'all know I be.
Oh, this is good.
It is.
I knew you would like this.
I know, right?
Y'all know she like that
tastes like
fruity stuff.
juice.
Oh, this is real good.
It don't have a
So
bite.
Cassandra is drinking a Free because she's on her alcohol-free journey right now.
Mm-hmm.
You like it?
Yeah, it's good. I got some goals I'm trying to make meat. So
I actually want to try the Free too because this one has.
it tastes good. It tastes like an apricot or something.
I actually feel like the Free may have more of a bite.
Oh,
it got peaches.
It got peaches in it.
Peaches and rose petals.
Yep. Okay.
I forgot to say that part.
It do have like a little.
And we paired it with just a little mixed fruit with some grapes, some melons, and pineapples.
Pineapple, I love me some
Just
pineapple.
pass her one. She ain't supposed to be eating no pineapple. She never put one on her plate.
You allergic to pineapples too?
Not for real.
Yes,
I
she
ain't never been to the hospital for
Me
it.
too. I'm the same way.
Girl.
My whole
Black
body
folks
started.
always talking about some. No, I
ain't never died. I'm still here.
My mouth just be itching, but it go away.
Yep, and it make food taste funny. You ever notice that?
Cheese.
Everything dairy you can't have right
after
after.
pineapples, at least for us.
And that's how I looked it up. I was like, man, how do you know when you're allergic?
Y'all gonna die for you.
I'm about to put seek medical help on this part.
Don't listen to me, but
I remember when
If you guys have an allergy, please do not do these two.
We here at the Wine Me Please podcast.
We do not condone eating stuff that you're allergic to.
it's like a soft allergy.
it is.
It's a soft. Oh, okay, that's what we call a soft allergy.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've never heard that, Mom.
Right, I'm gonna ask the medical professionals. Is that a thing?
I never heard of a soft allergy.
Well,
I've
Big
never
Pharma,
heard of that.
it's copywritten right here today.
A soft allergy.
It's copywritten
Right,
today.
give us our coin.
I ain't never.
Oh, I'm
All right, y'all. Let's get into this episode's discussion, okay? Because it is Women's History Month, and we know women, we just be doing a damn thing.
Holding it down.
Okay.
I like to agree so myself.
Exactly. But before we get into that, because we're going to state some facts, some history facts, I want to start off with like the social worker aspect. right? So we're gonna start with you, Cassandra. Let us introduce yourself and tell us what you do and what type of social worker are you?
Okay, I'm Cassandra. Hi, everyone. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. Right now, I work actually in the medical field. I work in a critical illness recovery hospital, so I deal with patients who are extremely ill. A majority of our populations are respiratory failure patients, so patients who are vents, trach, high flow nasal cannula, venti mask. We deal with patients that are on critical drips, heparin, cardiac drips, IV antibiotics. You think it, you name it. That's kind of what we do. So we're like a mini ICU in an outside hospital from the STACs that you're familiar with, like the Northwesterns, the University of Chicago's, Rush's. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. How long have you been in this field of social work?
I've been in an LTAC overall. It'll be actually 5 years next week. So, yeah, I've been doing it about 5 years. Before that, I was in psych social work, so it was not an easy transition, but a good transition overall. So,
what would you say is like the biggest difference between the two for you?
The alertness of the patients.
Okay.
A lot of my patients, they are on vents. Most of them are non-responsive. So it's more so speaking with the families, working with them, correlating what the best discharge plan will look like, what their plan is, what their goals are, opposed to when I was working in psych, the patients, even though they weren't always there mentally, they knew what they wanted, what they needed, and we kind of had to allow them to advocate for themselves. And so now allowing the families, not to say my patients aren't alert, we do have some that do come in and they're not alert, not oriented, and they do make great progress over time. So that's the most rewarding part of it. So
between the two, which one do you like better?
I love a little crazy.
Don't we all?
But medical, I would say, is a lot more rewarding for me. I'm just seeing the change in a lot of my patients and just getting those recognitions from the family and the patients. I think I received it a lot when I was in psych, but like now, just with the complex care that these patients are requiring and watching them transition from, like I said, being on the vent to likely walking, talking, and being able to go over to acute rehab, the families are so thankful.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I can honestly say in social work, I've always loved what I do, but now I'm in a space where I really enjoy my job. Like, no day is perfect, of course, but I can honestly say I enjoy what I do. So,
That's what's up.
yeah.
Did you always know you wanted to be a social worker? Like when you was in college?
I want to be a communication major at first, and then I decided I wanted to be in law enforcement. And then I want to be a detective because, I do that part-time.
I was gonna say, what's the story going?
No, I'm laughing because in my mind I was like, that sounds like, I feel like as social workers, like you end up, but it's in your heart and you don't know that there's a career for it. So you just end up being like, I want to do this, I want to do this. And then you be like, wait, that's a job.
That's a job. It's really a job. And then I think when I was a sophomore in high school, and I had like some personal changes that happened in my life, and that kind of, I wasn't able to advocate for myself at that point. So just learning like the positions of the people that I had met through this experience that I had, I decided, I'm like, I kind of want to help people. I actually want to help people. Like, I've always been very caring, very loving, but like having the ability to actually use those things in my day-to-day.
Yeah.
And then feel that reward. I'm like, I can actually do this. So then I want to be a little social worker. So here I am.
Big social worker, big L.
Yeah.
Big LC.
Big L, right?
Right.
So it works for me. So.
Well, that's good. Me and Cassandra went to college together, so that's.
And she ain't like me at first.
Oh
y'all.
my God!
Don't forget that part.
She tell everybody this. This is not true. That's her story to tell, cause I don't.
Or spill the wine.
Y'all, she gotta spill it, cause that ain't my story to tell. Why do you tell these people that?
Cause I can believe it.
You feel like
On the bus, we was going to our little work program.
What did I do on that bus?
You wasn't mean though.
I touch nigga this all the time because when I first
Little
met,
standoffish.
I said, you know, Shanika, I said you mean well, but you can be easily misunderstood because you have such a like bold, straightforward personality that people be like,
wait, hold on.
Fair enough. I'll take that. I'll let y'all have that.
But after that, I'm like, this my girl. I like her. You going to work tomorrow?
exactly right.
What day you on?
right. I thought we kicked it off good, but she's been telling people that since
forever. You know, I'm gonna live with that story until I don't.
I know. She ain't the only one that be living with these stories, but I digress. Okay, Candace, share with the people what form of social work have you done over your course of being a social worker?
I've been in psych mental health, so doing mostly clinical work. I spent a good part of almost 10 years in a correctional environment, working with severely mentally ill adult men, different settings, residential, inpatient, mostly doing individual therapy, group therapy, just trying to dealing with a lot of PTSD. So a lot of my background is in PTSD and personality disorders. I also do private practice outside of that. I've been doing private practice probably about 7 years, something like that. I've had my own for about 2, 3, but doing that on the side as well. So a lot of my stuff has just been therapy work, clinical work. Right now, I also work with the hospital setting doing utilization review, insurance, stuff like that. I like it. It's not as fun as and engaging as doing the direct clinical work I was doing with people. Yeah. But it's the stress because there is like a part of that burnout working in that environment where you just got to take a step back and take a break. Yeah. And so this is allowing me to actually get a lot of experience on the insurance side that helps with the private practice side. Getting a lot of information on insurance and just learning a lot about that process has made me a better business owner. So I'm kind of appreciating that experience going along with it. It's a good supporting environment that's different. It's a different culture. Working with state government versus working in a hospital setting is very different, and so it's more humanistic in seeing you as a social worker and a clinician versus a more rigid and authoritarian environment. So
okay, out of all your different experiences, which one would you say is your favorite or has been your favorite?
My own private practice therapy, seeing my own clients. That's where I see women, which again, I've done most of my career with either adolescent behavior issues, adult males. Now I'm in a population where a majority of my population is women, and I'm loving that experience because I feel like, no offense, but it's like the help is wanted, and it's not it's not like that defensive, like objectionary, like these women actually want the help. And so that part has been good of seeing that progress too, because I get to actually see that progress. And that type of setting is different because you don't know what therapy work you're doing. They might get shipped out the next week and then boom, therapy is disrupted. Right. So you actually get to see the progress with the person that you're making and have some consistency in that.
Okay, that's good. I remember when I first learned that he was working in a prison setting. I was like, girl, what? You let them lock them gates behind you? Hell no.
People was checking on me, girl. Like, I ain't heard from you all day. I was like, I ain't got my phone.
Right. You gotta leave everything.
Like, so that's like, it's a whole culture shock for me in general. Yeah. Because again, no, I didn't have my phone. I didn't have access to the world for a good part of my life. It was behind 40 hours a week is behind bars, and it's not like I'm comparing myself to an inmate, but like it was very much a culture shock. For sure.
It was a different type of restriction.
It was, and it was voluntary, but it was just almost like, what am I doing? Why am I choosing this lifestyle?
But I'm doing the time.
I'm doing the time. Like,
we ain't here together.
And you try to say that to them, like, but you go home at night.
Right.
I go to sleep, I eat, and I come right back here, and I'm talking to you again. So like, so. But no, it was a great population to work with, and of course it has its struggles, but it was a good experience. Yeah. I feel like after that I could work anywhere.
Yeah. That's true.
Because there's your freedom.
Yeah, I'm like, I remember she tried to give me, Tabitha, you could come up here and do a group one day. Wrong.
Girl,
Not finna lock me up in there.
No.
it's not that bad.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. I've been to. Remember that time in college? Were you in my class and we went to a field trip to the prison?
I don't know if I did that one.
Different populations.
was
I'll say different
No,
populations.
it was.
No,
for
they
like-
did. They
yeah,
had
for
some.
one of our like one of those social work classes, we had to go visit a prison. And I would never forget the minute that door closed behind me, I was like
loud.
clinging on like somebody help. And then it was a men's prison at that. And y'all know how I'm shaped. So imagine every time you turn, there's a group of men just
Howling.
Yeah, and I'm like, to the point, I remember like some of my classmates had to like ride behind me. I'm like, hey y'all, let me get in
And that's
the
how
middle.
security
I
was with me,
scared
was
as
super
shit.
protective of me.
Yeah. And you learned a lot, you know, you learn about like their
I've seen a full
culture.
spectrum
Oh
of
my
mental
gosh.
health in there.
Yeah, so
So,
girl, somebody had to do it, and it was so kudos to you, baby. Bless your ministry. Okay.
ironically enough, when I tell people I wanted to do that when I was a kid, they were like, "No, I actually wanted to do that as a kid."
That's what's up.
No, that's what's up. 'Cause somebody got to do it, just like me.
Right.
So, Dominique, you tell us what has your experience been as a social worker?
Yeah, I've been all over the place.
I know. So tell us.
I started working with, this is how I met Shaniqua, working with youth experiencing homelessness in residential settings. From there, I was tired of working with youth. I wanted to work with the older population. So I began working with caregivers of those who have dementia, Alzheimer's, providing them counseling and therapeutic resources and services. Then I went from there and started doing medical social work. After medical social work, I did enjoy that, but I was working out of a clinic. It was just a little slow for me. I was used to it was predictable. I was used to the unpredictable nature that I had working with the youth.
Yeah.
So I went from that to hospice. So I was doing hospice social work.
So you did the whole course.
Yeah, I did hospice social work, and then after working with hospice, I am now working with the government. So I actually work at the Juvenile Detention Center, but I work on care coordination. So once they are released from the Juvenile Detention Center, or if they are sentenced and on probation, they come to us to get linked to mental health resources.
Okay.
So still like medical, but still youth related and still health related.
Right.
So it's
Right, you have to deal with
everything together.
You ain't got to deal with the behavior
I
part
still
of
work
it.
with their parents, and
Yeah.
surprisingly, a lot of our young people are raised by grandparents. So
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
have that geriatric, I don't want to say geriatric, but that older side.
Yeah, the older
population
population.
I work with too. So somehow God was like,
Put it
let
all
me
Put it all together.
Put it all together.
You got little piece everywhere.
so you can sit down somewhere.
You're doing too much.
Now we gonna put all this
Put it
together,
together.
put all this talent
Now you
together.
can't say you don't like it.
Exactly. So it's been interesting, but I've definitely had a journey.
That's what's up. Which one do you feel like has been your favorite so
People
far?
were surprised that it was hospice.
Really?
Interestingly enough, it was hospice. It was this may sound so morbid, like people be like, Dominic, you talk about death like you changing draws. Like, you just talk about it so easy.
But yeah.
But I actually I had to like see it. Like I had to, and so I actually started working in hospice for my own healing.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad died suddenly. My dad was only 45 when he died, and when I got the opportunity to work in hospice, I was like, absolutely, because I didn't get the chance to process his death. It was just sudden out of nowhere. And I was like, if I can help people understand that, like, you actually have a prognosis that may seem harsh, but you now know that you have time. It's not sudden.
Yeah.
Let's see how we can maximize that time with your loved one while they have it. So that was like very helpful, honestly, during my practice, because it helped them open up when they knew that they could relate to someone. Meeting a lot of young people, only children who were caring for their parents, knowing that when this person passes, it's only going to be me. So being that younger person or social worker to be there, to be like their sibling once a week for however long they had with their loved one was rewarding. And it was a thank yous at the end.
That's a
It
good
was,
shit.
it was hard because, you know, the only outcome, for some, not for all, because people can't graduate off of hospice, but for some, just helping them through it and just being there for them, it was rewarding. And so that thank you. So at the end, so
Yeah, I think you go a long way.
it does.
It makes your day.
It makes your day, and then it's also like it kind of lets you breathe because you know that, like, okay, I you received it.
Yeah.
It was received.
Yeah. You saw me. You heard me.
Exactly. Exactly. So we saw each other. That's from the Housewives.
It makes you just feel like it was all worth it.
Yeah, it does. It makes it feel like it's all worth it. I think for me, that's like the biggest thing. It's like when I get that thank you, and it's like I can have a rough day, and I'm like, God, oh geez, what's going on? And then he's like, wait a minute, I'm gonna show you something real quick.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, that's my little blessing. I can go to bed now. See y'all. Talk to y'all later.
Because it's so easy in social work to feel unseen.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, because to feel sometimes misused, I feel like
Especially as a black woman.
Exactly,
They want you to do everything.
I feel like social work is such an interesting skill, and it's also very misunderstood. Not everyone can be a social worker. Okay, some of y'all just can't sit with us because it takes a certain mental capacity. It takes a certain emotional capacity to do social work, and then it also just takes a certain knowledge, which is honestly common sense that a lot of people don't have. Don't have. So I think for that, like sometimes our profession is misunderstood. Sometimes they look at us as no shade to case management. Sometimes they look at us as case manager. Oh, you're just here to find us resources. What?
Because I'm a case manager technically.
Yeah, it's like I can. Yeah, I can.
I can do that
And some.
Because that's also something that I am taught to do is to recognize what are you missing.
What are
so
your
I can
needs?
help you with that. Help you with that barrier. It's not to just give you something, but to see what your barrier is and what's preventing you from getting the best service that we can give you, because we need to fix this barrier first. It's more than just giving a resource. It's providing. It's reducing a barrier, which people don't understand.
They throw everything on the
My
social
bad.
worker. The
That was
social worker
wrong
could do
with
that. Call a social worker. I'm like, that's not a social work question.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
Nursing, what did they
everything
need?
becomes a social
It's
work
actually
question.
a question for Google, because that's what they do.
Everything becomes the social worker's
Patient got an
issue.
appointment tomorrow. I don't do those.
Especially if you're in a living environment like residential inpatient, everything is the social work's issue.
It's like, no. Okay,
They don't
you had an
have
appointment
socks.
on
Call
Monday.
the social worker.
Exactly.
Like, no.
Why are you calling
There was a
mine?
cabinet for that.
Oh, well, you had to
A
call
closet.
their family and then tell them to bring the socks. You like, oh yeah. So
we waited till Monday.
to call family.
You telling me
Y'all been
James didn't have socks off this Friday? He ain't had no socks since Friday.
I'm telling like it is literally.
It'll be a simple like, well, there's a release on. Oh my God! Like, why did you wait for me? Yes.
It's the common sense that be missing.
No,
People
it
so
ain't
smart,
common.
So smart they dumb. That's what my mom say all the time. You're so smart you're dumb.
Yeah, they.
You know.
She like, yep.
Now we gotta talk about you and your
Yes,
career
ma'am.
and what you've
What do you
been
do?
doing in your social work career, Miss Shaniqua.
Too damn much. No, I'm just playing. I ain't do nowhere near what my good sister over here is doing. Let me see, my social career. I worked for the department, DTFS, for a while, a private agency. So I worked in foster care. That was
Heavy sometimes.
all the time.
I just remember your story, so it's like vicarious trauma to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed it. I would say like it was hard, but I did enjoy it because, like I said, those thank yous that came from the kids, right? You know, transporting kids from one house to the next because they've been abused or neglected. Then you put them in a foster parent house. And that foster parent ain't shit. So now you gotta move them out of there. And, you know, it's all this stuff. And like there were I had a couple of teen girls that I made like really great connections with. One of them I still keep in contact with to this day. Like that they literally start to see me as like their big sister, right? Because they teenagers and I'm like in my 20s at that time. So they like, oh, who are you? You, because their whole thing was you ain't the old lady. Like they just knew I was supposed to be this old lady.
Wearing gray.
Right. And
With
I'm like,
glasses.
oh, hey, y'all. Right. But then, but I enjoyed it to a certain extent, of course. And then you had the crazy cases, like, you know, like you said, hell, shit, I almost had to fight a parent. You know what I'm saying? Because don't, I'm still from the south side of Chicago. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. So that was that. And then I transitioned to being a NTAC supervisor, which is also still a part of DCFS. It's just a different program. And in that realm of things, it was our families were still together. So I was providing them with those resources and make sure my team was or filling in so that kids didn't get taken away from them. And that was tough, right?
Yeah.
Because it's only so many things that we can do.
Right.
You know, because they still had a say-so over their kids' lives versus if they was already in foster care, the parents' say-so was kind of limited. You know what I'm saying? It was the state say-so for the most part. And then from there, I went behind the scenes and started working still with DCFS in a capacity, and I trained all caseworkers. And I actually enjoyed that because I got to let them know, like, okay, y'all finna be in the field. And I had experienced both entities. So I'm like, I can tell y'all what to be expected. Like, you know, this is what's going to happen, or this is not what's going to happen. Don't get caught up doing this because these parents, they slick with it, right? Or even the foster parents. So, like, you know, don't get all buddy-buddy with them, and now they got you doing shit you're not supposed to be doing, and you're going to lose your job, because I've witnessed that too, right? And so that was fun. And then from there, I did private practice. I actually did those two jobs at the same time, and then I left completely and just been doing my own private practice as a therapist. And I love it. I actually love that part more. Out of all of them, being a therapist, I love the most, because one, I get to make my own hours and do what I want to do. But two, I get to work with people who are like just dealing with their own shit and like, you know, tell them motherfuckers no. Because I like people.
She don't say it like that though.
She don't say it like that.
I do. They don't speak for me.
She said
I said it like that. I said what I said.
Tell them motherfuckers no. Because sometimes, and if I'm being honest,
You're relatable.
You have to
I'm very
what
relatable.
And some of my clients, I know which clients I can say stuff like that to, and I know which clients I can't say stuff like that to. And I have some clients that literally come and be like, we went in somebody real. Now, granted, you don't even know me from a can of paint, right? But they assume I'm real because my name's Shaniqua. I know what it was. I know what it was. Right? I ain't slow. I'm black and my name is Shaniqua. So,
that's her. That's the one.
That's the one.
Like,
she gonna get me. She gonna get me.
I just know it.
I know she. I know.
Like your name Shaniqua and you got locks.
Okay, and she works for DCFS.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we know what she about. I've had clients tell me. I've had white clients tell me that, we wanted somebody that we know that's gonna keep us on our toes. Okay, I know what that means.
Don't run when I'm after your ass,
baby. And they don't. They be there.
You gotta be on your toes.
Exactly, because I'm gonna hold you accountable. All right, but I love it. I love it though. It's no day. It's the same. Like I was saying, no day is the same. No hour is the same.
Exactly.
Because every hour is a different client. And one client, we both crying together. And one client, we both laughing together. And then one client, I'm telling them, hey, whoop that trick. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. But I love it, though. I love it. That's my favorite out of all of it. But, I don't know. I love being a social worker. And I'm also so you're a licensed clinical social worker. You're a licensed clinical. I'm a licensed clinical social worker.
They all big L's. I'm little L.
She a little L for now.
For now.
She just gotta go sit for her test, right?
Yeah.
All right. She gonna be big. She gonna be her big C, big L.
Exactly.
In a couple of months. We claiming it.
I'm claiming it too.
Yes.
Okay. So as y'all can see, like, you know, just social work, like it's so many possibilities in the world of social worker, of being a social, or just getting your degree in social work. I know social workers that's like successful in HR. We already know hospitals.
And please get rid of the stereotype that we are
broke. Okay. I'm about to say it's most money I ever had.
We keep that a secret, and we like, cause I be trying to mentor them, and they be like, real well. I'm like, girl, you better go ahead and get that master's and quit playing.
There are some that don't pay well, but there are a lot. Like my role is more of a dual
You have to
role.
know your value and don't negotiate your value.
That part, know your value.
Don't be afraid
to negotiate.
As black women. I don't, because the only thing they can say is no.
No.
Right.
Yes.
Like,
and then learn when to pivot when you aren't appreciated. Because I think we get so stuck in like the whole, we're social workers. We want to help people. We feel bad for like leaving a job or a place or a client.
Maybe
like,
every 2 years.
No to pivot. When it's time to leave, pivot. Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Negotiate.
Well, just look for, if you don't specifically leave that job, and see where you can develop yourself within the company, but at another position.
Yes.
So, like 100%. Stop thinking that stuff. Now, I'm not gonna lie. You working in nonprofit, you likely broke.
I was broke when I was working in nonprofit.
Yeah.
But that's where you know your worth. You
Exactly.
go, and even if you don't leave, like you can still go on interviews and let them offer you a job. And if the pay is higher, you can take that back to your current employer.
And
like,
negotiate
look,
that.
That's what they offer me. What
Exactly.
you got? You ain't got it, I'm out. You know.
And
what I'm saying?
nonprofits, to me, in my mind, unless you are in more of like an administrative area, is more of an entry level.
Yeah, it's not meant to be stayed
it really
in forever.
introduces you to it. I could probably, I'm not gonna say all of us, but I mean, all of our positions were probably when we started with more sort of like bachelor's level positions, but I'm sure the positions that we have now take more skill.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, more knowledge.
Yeah.
And, you know, because it's not easy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dealing with the public all the time.
Most of them, I think, have like 10 years in too, so it did take a little bit of time too. But
and just building relationships, because in social work, social service, case management, all those areas, you're gonna meet the same people over and over again.
Work at the other
And that's kind of how you move around, because that's how I got into medical. The lady that came was helping us at our at the psych facility. She's like, they have a job. I'm like, I have no criteria. And she's like, don't worry about it. We can teach you. I said, okay.
I am teachable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And God said, you know what? You ain't qualified. But we're gonna make you qualified.
Exactly.
So it's kind of just going in that way.
That just reminded me, because I could say that's probably how I was medically as well. I was actually referred by other people, and then I was reached out to for positions. But it definitely one of those things was like, your name is in rooms that indoors you haven't even walked through. Like, your name is in it.
Absolutely.
And that could be a good door or a bad door. So be careful how you treat people.
Yeah.
Right. That part.
So 100%. But yeah, y'all, it's money on this couch.
Oh, okay.
It is.
Just try to
And
tell.
the other thing is with social work, one thing I love about like just our degree and stuff is well rounded.
Yeah.
Like, cause even when you're taking classes from undergrad to grad school, there is so many different options.
Oh, I love my
concentrations.
programs.
Concentrations, and like you can take the different classes just to learn. Oh, do I want to do community health? Go to community health, right? Hospital, what we did, child welfare, like so
advocacy,
many things, advocacy, right? You learn, because it's like it touches on everything, right? While other professions, no shade to them or nothing, theirs are more like very like
Concrete,
very focused,
tunnel vision to this, while we can like, which is why I think a part is how can I say it? It's beneficial for us when we become therapists by way of social work, because like we learn so many different aspects of like the person in their environment and like
big on PIE.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Versus like only focusing like, well, what's mentally going on? Well, it's
bigger
something
picture.
like
It's
that's
a bigger picture
around
for it.
that's causing this, while some other professions don't really get to see that part of it. You know what I'm saying?
I had so at my position, at my job, we have like so I'm considered a social work care coordinator. So we have some LSW, some LCSW, some LPC, some LTPCs. So but the actual title, no matter what your degree is social work. So even if you have an LPC or LCPC,
it's state preferred.
It's state preferred to be titled as a social worker. So one lady was like, well, what's the difference between a counselor and social worker? Oh, let me tell you.
Hold on, wait a minute. You got some time to sit down.
Grab that mic.
Exactly. And I tell people all the time, I say there's no shades of counseling at all, but I feel like counselors have what I call a biomedical focus.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is like at most hospitals or most doctors, it is, here is the issue, here is the problem, here is how you fix it. This is the issue. Give the kidneys messed up. Tell them to change their diet and take this medicine. It's gonna fix the issue. You know, and sometimes that's how some counselors, not all counselors. I know a lot of counselors should be social workers, but some counselors may have a mindset of, oh, you know, you're having anger issues, you're having this, you're having that. Well, let's just see how it is that we can help you with breathing techniques and figure out how to stop your anger. No, what environment are they in?
That's
causing
you to feel that way.
You cannot.
How we talk to the family.
Exactly. I tell people all the time, this may be a horrible analogy, but you cannot take a crackhead, teach them new lessons, and put them back in the crack house.
Yep.
That part.
It ain't gonna work.
It's not gonna work. The issue is the environment. You have to figure out how can we reduce and how can we change the environment. So she's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I said, we are trained as social workers, fortunately, to see beyond the picture, beyond what's in front of us. We look at what's behind the picture.
Exactly.
And that's how we know what led us to the picture that we have now. I can tell you what brush stroke you use. I can tell you what color paint you use. I can tell you how many strokes, like, to get this picture that we have in front of us. And y'all ain't there yet.
Some of y'all.
not there yet.
It's not a priority.
It's not priority.
Exactly.
So I said, so for the most part, it is more beneficial, I feel like, for a person to see a social worker and then possibly go to a counselor if that social worker is not a clinical social worker.
Right, absolutely.
Go to a social worker first so they can see what the barrier is, provide the resources for that barrier, and then you can go and become a counselor.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. And I can appreciate LPCs and LCPCs too for their concrete knowledge of just all the mental things, the behavior things, because like I have friends that are at LCPC, so I get to pick their brains on stuff that's like more diagnosis wise that maybe I didn't get while I was in school.
Theories, the bomb.
So like bounce off
marriage
stuff
and family.
Like
I usually go to a LPC.
Yeah, so it's like we all can definitely coexist, and because we need each other and can lean on each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a great thing. It's a great thing. Okay, so we gonna switch gears just slightly, right? From social work stuff to like women's, right? Because this is still Women's History Month. So we want to just share some like facts, right, about like what the women have done to make
the women. No,
what we did to make y'all lives easier. I'm gonna say it that way.
If you want to be, and I ain't trying to be political, I'm going to be political anyway, what we did to make America great.
I was trying to refrain from saying that was going to come out, but I'm like, no, because I'm not that supporter. I'm not that supporter.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
No, that's a pivot. What we did to make
America great. Black women.
Okay.
Black women. Okay. With a little of y'all other women, too.
You know, sprinkle in.
All right,
we'll acknowledge you, Jane Addams.
That part. Shout out to Jane Addams.
That's my girl.
We went to UIC.
Oh yeah, because we was together and then you.
I went to UIC too. Yeah, girl.
And then Candace went to our sister school. She went to U of I.
ILL.
Okay.
Look at that.
We all the University of Illinois. Just different.
Greatness.
We sisters.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Candace, tell us one of your facts that you wanted to point out.
I wanted to point out Sojourner Truth, a formerly enslaved worker turned abolitionist and women's rights activist. She delivered her famous speech, "Ain't I a Woman?" at the Women's Rights Convention in Akron, Ohio. So, ain't I a woman? Look at me. Look at my arm. I have plowed. Did I say that right? Plowed and planted and gathered into barns, and no man can head me. Ain't I a woman? I could work as much and eat as much as a man, when I could get it and bear the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most all sold off to slavery. And when I cried out to my mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. Ain't I a woman?
Okay, this is German Truth. And that was in May of 1851. Good Lord.
Yes. So thorough.
I'm going to highlight, she ain't black, but I'm still highlight her, Elizabeth Blackwell. In January 1849, she became the first woman to graduate from medical school and become a doctor in the U.S.
That's what's up.
Ain't that some shit?
I know, right?
Okay.
Y'all better put some respect on her name.
That's what's up, man.
Okay.
You know what, as we're reading this, I ain't even trying to go down a black hole or whatever, or get us off topic, but it's almost pissing me off. Not in a bad way, but in a way of you can read all of these accolades as black women do, and we still looked at it as being lower.
That part.
Which is crazy. The first before many black men or other ethnicities, the first black woman to finish medical school.
Well, I don't know if she was black. Was she black? Let somebody Google it.
She probably wasn't black. Or first woman.
First
woman to finish medical school.
Yeah.
And probably still was looked at. People still didn't want her to touch them.
Yeah, that's that part.
That
part.
Crazy.
Actually, they've had conversations about that where it's like if there was a surgery or something like that and a woman walked in, they're like, oh no, I want a different doctor.
Exactly. Which is crazy. The reason I'm going to go to this is because I like the name of the second person that's in here. Because the name says, like, she probably was about her business, right? So, in the first Women's Rights Convention organized by women, the Seneca Falls Convention is held in New York with 300 attendees, including organizers Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and you got the next thing you know, Lucretia.
Okay, Lucretia.
Lucretia.
said 1848.
1848.
Yes, Lucretia.
It was a Lucretia.
So they been
Lucretia.
Lucretia,
I love that.
1848.
I love that. I love that. Ain't shit new under the sun.
The name.
That's the name for me.
Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Everything I needed to know.
Lucretia
did that. She did that.
Anyway, it was 68 women and 32 men, including the Frederick Douglass, to sign the Declaration of Sentiments, which sparked decades of activism, eventually leading to the passage of the 19th Amendment, granting women the right to vote. Period.
Regardless of how they vote.
That part.
But
Right.
the right to vote.
The right to vote.
Anywho.
You understand? Go ahead.
I'm about to say, so I know Elizabeth was white, but Lucretia probably had to be black. Lucretia.
Let's look up Lucretia.
I'm
looking up Lucretia.
Lucretia
Pull up on the Google.
Lucretia's definitely gonna be white. It's gonna have it makes
And we're gonna be so disappointed.
totally different back then.
I'm about to say we're definitely.
She wasn't.
With that name, it was a black in her.
She has some black in her.
Let's. Oh no, baby. No.
Not at all.
Make sure you send me that.
Nah.
photo.
Let me see.
Yeah, send me
We're
that.
definitely.
Lord.
Pronouncing it wrong.
She looked like no. No.
We're definitely pronouncing that name wrong.
What other way to pronounce it? Lucretia?
Lucretia.
Maybe it's Lucretia.
Hey, Tia. Lucretia.
Lucretia. Maybe they don't pronounce the T. Maybe they don't pronounce the T. Lucretia.
They ain't start pronouncing the T until 1900s. That's right.
my gosh.
I
I am screaming.
Crazy, y'all.
I guess.
We stand.
We was really,
Stand
we really
corrected,
fought for
baby.
that.
Corrected
We
and
really
disputed.
fought for that one. We was like, we just
Because
know
it just
she
has
is
to be
sister.
black.
And it is okay.
That's that
We accept.
stereotype. Yeah.
We
Well, hell, Elizabeth, can you
She
be
was
black?
invited to the barbecue though. She was trying to end slavery, so
was
she can be. That's so somebody probably named their daughter Lucretia after her.
Right, like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah, like she the one that tried to get. Yeah, she is.
With
Yeah,
Lucretia?
yeah. No, she probably.
And that's how she spelled it?
Yeah, we probably somebody just named her and
I don't think she
recognition.
spelled it like that. I ain't know her that much, but it's probably a K in her
Shout
name.
out to Lucretia.
Lucretia
She was on the right side of history, so shout out to her.
I am cracking up.
That's funny.
Cracking up.
So if you know your name Lucretia, you know who you named after now.
Hey, yo, she's so blessed that she didn't have to do resumes.
That
I would have never got a job.
Hello. That's what is this?
Lucretia, out the door.
Straight to the trash.
To the trash.
I
Good for her.
am dying.
Good for her.
Crazy.
Okay.
Come on, Lucretia, man.
Good for her, for Lucretia.
Kenzie, you got another, or Cassandra, you got one you want to say?
Trying to see.
Ooh.
Which one?
October 16, 1916, Margaret Sanger opens the first birth control clinic in the U.S. located in Bronzeville, Brooklyn. Her clinic was deemed illegal under the Comstock laws forbidding birth control, and the clinic was raided in October 26, 1916. When she had to close 2 additional times due to illegal threats, she closed the clinic, eventually founded in the American Birth Control League in 1921, the precursor to today's Planned Parenthood. Shout out to her trying to take care of women's health, women's rights
That part.
that are getting
we know
slowly
she was
yanked
white.
away. But shout out to her.
You got another one that stood out to you?
Well, this is one that's interesting because it's not a woman who did it, but it did affect women. Mm-hmm. So June 10th, 1963, President John F. Kennedy signs into law the Equal Pay Act, prohibiting sex-based wage discrimination between men and women performing the same job in the same workplace.
Mm-hmm. And we still ain't
They
getting
still
to
be
it.
trying.
We still not getting paid. We're not enforcing it, but you know.
But somebody, they tried.
He tried, y'all.
They tried.
We
That's all we
appreciated
can
John
say.
F.
That's
K.
all
Rest
we
in
can
peace.
say. Okay. Now y'all wanna do 2 more and then we moving on. What y'all got? What you got?
What you got?
I'm gonna say this one.
Lord.
January 22nd, 1973, in this landmark Roe v. Wade decision, the U.S. Supreme Court declares that the Constitution protects a woman's legal right to an abortion. In June 2022, the Supreme Court overturned the ruling.
Being someone that worked in DC, never mind. You said we're gonna do 2 more.
Now you said what you gonna say?
I was gonna say I got the last one.
Being someone that's worked in DCFS in foster care. What are your outside of the abortion, not even on the abortion piece, but working in foster care? What does that look like to you?
What, having that overturned? It's tough. I'll say that. I don't know. It's not a good look. We can say that. Luckily, we live in Illinois where we good over here. When you think about everybody, all other states where it was turned to the states
to make their own decisions.
Yeah, when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, it's very dangerous.
Yep.
Because there are a lot of kids that come into foster care who have been sexually assaulted and molested by a family member, right? And that's a part of the reason, or could be a part of the reason why they're there.
Right.
And so, like, imagining that this child was abused, right? And now sexually abused. Now they're with child, and they're a child themselves. They can't get an abortion, or even if it's like something medically wrong and they need to terminate for a medical reason, they can't do that either. It's very sad because now not only do we have a kid that's in foster care, now we have a kid that's in foster care, possibly going to have another kid in foster care, and the cycle continues, right? So, and I can speak on that all day, but it's so sad to hear that that's where we are, that this was overturned, and it's so many possibilities that's there, right? Or even, right, maybe they're not in foster care yet, right? Maybe this is just another adult that is under these circumstances, have a baby, they don't want that baby, guess what? That baby now has been neglected, abused, right? And so now DCFS gets involved. Now we have more kids into the system, right? Who finna take care of these kids? Because y'all ain't
barely got resources
that part.
Your tax dollars that you think
and y'all not even taking care of the kids that's already there.
System,
Nobody wants them if they're not newborns.
They're not newborn,
or up to the age of maybe like three at the max. Nobody wants them.
They're just sitting there.
So now we have a system that continues to grow large with kids with no resources or not enough resources.
Placements, no placement. Kids sitting in hospitals waiting for placement.
Exactly, or sitting at the DCFS offices,
taking turns being watched by a DCFS.
Right, sleeping in the offices on the floors because it ain't enough cots.
Sometimes sleeping at the police station.
At the police station, like I've literally have seen that happen even when I was in, and for other reasons. But like when there's not enough homes, we have a problem. There's not enough homes. There's not enough beds in hospitals. There's not enough beds in group homes and juvenile facilities.
And they're closing facilities.
Closing down every day.
Close down
right? And say, oh, y'all don't need this. What the fuck you mean? Yes, we do.
Yep. Stop funding it.
And everybody don't want to be foster parents no more. It's because it's too much.
So many rules and regulations on that.
Right? And family members don't even want to step up because it's too much. Because now you're looking at it's eyes on them. Because they probably was over there beating their kids' ass behind closed doors, but it wasn't to the extent of abuse. But now somebody is constantly coming into my house, so now I got to make sure I don't. Because if you ask my kids what's happening, and they say, "Oh yeah, my mama whipped me," but they don't think nothing of it, now we got a problem.
Right?
It's just too much. But thank you for coming to my TED Talk, because I can go on all day when it comes to the system. But okay. Did I answer your question?
All of it.
Okay. Okay. Y'all, let's skip real quick. Oh, wait. You said you had another one?
Oh, you said if there was one more.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to do January 20th, 2021. Kamala Harris.
Yes.
Sworn in as the first woman and first woman of color vice president of the United States. While she said, I may be the first woman in office, I will not be the last, and she won't. Harris said after getting elected in November The daughter of Jamaican and Indian immigrants, Harris served as California's first black female attorney general and won election to the U.S. Senate in 2016. She made her own unsuccessful presidential bid before being selected by former Vice President Joe Biden as his running mate. So shout out to her.
Hello. Okay.
And I didn't realize she was 60. She looked good.
Good.
Yeah, I didn't realize she was 60 years old.
Me neither.
That black baby don't crack, okay?
Okay, look at the
Good.
I said, she's so young. I said, oh, because everybody old. Everybody I looked, I said, they damn near 90. I look at her, I said, 60.
And I think
Go,
that's
girl.
we're so used to seeing like old ass.
Old ass president.
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama, yeah.
Still age
I
graceful.
feel like
Yeah,
there
I
needs to be
because
a,
America made
Still
him
age
old.
there needs to be an age limit.
It does.
I
Like,
think being president.
65 is like, no,
I think
nothing over 65.
retirement, once you pass the age of
retirement,
retirement,
you can't
over
be no
65.
you should not be able to
president.
be a
Let it
president.
go.
Yeah.
Let
Just
it
like
go.
because you know, like there's age requirements to like be an airplane pilot.
Yeah.
You know, like so if they got an age
Requirement.
Age
you're
requirements
gonna
to be a Chicago firefighter. After
Yeah.
the age of 37, you can't be a
Can't fly.
Yes, I heard that. Yeah.
It should be. It really should be.
absolutely.
Look, cut off.
Because your interest isn't
granddad,
involved.
no.
Right.
Granddaddy
No.
sit your ass
Granddaddy.
The walking out and everything.
down. That part.
Because I was people at that time, like, oh, people don't give a fuck about, like,
And they set in their
just
ways.
don't
A
do
lot
it.
of them.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. All right,
Anyway,
y'all. We're going to
y'all.
wrap this segment with throwing out a couple of inventions by black women solely. Like, so the last stuff we gave y'all was just a mixture of women making their marks in history. But now we're going to throw out a couple of inventions. And some of the stuff, y'all, when we was doing this research, I didn't even realize that it was made by a black woman or just a woman in general. So I was excited. Okay, let's start with Coco. Cassandra.
I'll do.
We're going to say all of them anyway.
Oh, okay. Marie Van Britten Brown and her husband invented the video home security system in 1966.
And that's why we got all eyes on y'all.
Brinks.
Hello. Sarah E. Good, she made the fold-out bed, which we call Murphy bed, in 1885. And she opened I think it was like her and her husband. They opened a furniture store in Chicago after the Civil War. Once they was granted their freedom.
That's what's up.
I know, right?
That's creative. Who would have thought of push the bed in the wall?
Right.
And it makes so much space.
And the reason why
I
they
want
did
one
it was
to be
because they was having family over and they needed space. So they was like, okay, we need to figure this out.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
Man, she had the girl. You better have a trademark on it.
Alice Parker's central heating system. You know that had to be a black woman. Don't touch the AC. Don't touch the thermostat.
Right. Hello.
Central heating system with natural gas. Our current HVAC system to heat our home is a result of her heating system that was patented in 1919.
Come through
Okay?
HVAC. You know how
Yes.
much HVAC's cost?
Yeah, shout out
A
to that
lot
black
of
woman
money,
because
yeah.
I know it was her. I know
Okay,
you
I
knew
hope
it
her
had to
family
be.
is treating that income well.
That part.
Shout out to them.
Bessie Blount Griffin invented the feeding tube. That's pretty dope.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, and y'all should look her up because she invented a lot of stuff that has to do like that's
Medical.
in the
Medical field.
Yeah, because she was also a physical therapist.
Oh.
Because they use that.
Shirley Jackson invented fiber optic cables, so that's something that's being used now. It's like, you know how we got internet. It's like a version of that. Like it helps with that.
Oh, yeah. You definitely need that.
I love this.
I like the fact that like it just like those that like invent things that's needed for other things.
Practical.
Yeah.
Exactly.
help
Like you
people.
have to what they call like you invented a product that has to be licensed in order for other people to like, you know, use it. Because I'd be looking at like Charcuterie Board, like, oh, we can license this and use this to make this, and use this to make that. Like that's so. I wish I invented bottled water.
That part.
I'm dead ass. I get so bad every time I think about it. Like,
Who
water in a
decided
bottle.
to contain this object?
So like not only she invent bottled water, then you turn around and invented water bottles.
Okay, moving on. Madeline Turner invented the first fruit press. So that's like when y'all be using y'all ninjas and shit. She got the first. Yeah, she was the starting point. Okay, we just gonna run through these real quick. Lydia Newman in 1890, she created the hairbrush with synthetic bristles for black folks' hair. Okay, because the other brushes was made of animal hair. It was too soft. we need something to coarse
Coarse
these,
these
you know.
it, right.
Get
4C.
these coarse
Lick it.
hairs.
I don't like no soft brush.
Right,
Yeah, 4C.
right.
That's the ones that hurt a little bit.
I like one little.
Probably.
So I can know it's getting
Grab my
everything.
scalp, just pull it a little bit.
You cry.
Dr. Patricia Bath created a tool to correct cataract.
Shout out to her.
Okay. Valerie Thomas invented technology used by the NASA, including the illusion transmitter, which is considered the basis for 3D technology in 1980s. So how y'all be watching the movies in 3Ds? Shout out to my girl.
They use that in that. They use that in space.
Girl, they out here. They using it everywhere. Sarah Boone, the first African American woman to receive a patent for the modern ironing board.
Okay.
Okay,
So
y'all.
that's all. I still iron.
I iron sometimes, but
I
y'all
hate-
do y'all history, do y'all research.
I do it. Folding.
I steam and call it a day. If I can't steam
y'all
it, it ain't going.
I like a little, you know,
If I
little
can't
crisp.
steam it, it ain't wearing.
I hate
Hit me
the.
with the free. 'Cause I know you about to toast
all right.
me.
Yeah, we sure live. Do y'all got any last? Do y'all research? You know, go learn some stuff if y'all ain't know
That's good.
something at first. But do y'all have any last words for our viewers as we wrap up?
Respect the profession.
Yeah.
Hello, and respect the black woman. Okay, women all over, but the black woman.
Just stop underestimating us.
Respect. Put some respect on my name.
It's a lot of work, credentials, times of study, hours that goes behind what we do.
That part.
So-
that
And then you
part.
also have to have a heart for it.
Absolutely.
That's the biggest piece. Anybody can be
Absolutely.
in any field, but if you naturally or just don't have it in you, it's gonna show.
Yeah, absolutely.
No matter what you do. So having the heart and actually doing something that you love and make sure it's what you love.
Exactly.
And just a plug for those that want to be social workers, whether you're in the school or whatnot, or you're thinking about it in high school, you learn social. The best way I think to start preparing for social work is to start advocating for yourself now.
That part.
Because if you can't advocate for yourself, you're going to have a hard time pushing back against higher ups when you got to advocate on behalf of somebody else.
Yeah, that is
So start with you. Practice with you.
That is so.
I deserve that A.
That part. And come with your facts.
Social
Exactly.
workers love to tussle, don't we?
And will.
I got the receipts.
And will.
Okay.
and
Okay.
will. All right, y'all. Y'all know this. Do you have anything you want to plug for the people who go follow you or no? It's up to you.
No, y'all can follow me, I guess.
Where they go?
And I'm not saying nothing to follow though. My girl Cass on Instagram, Snapchat.
Ain't she so sweet?
Follow, but then post.
Right.
You know, I don't be posting for real, but I might.
She's
One
so
day.
silly. All right, y'all know what it is. Follow us on all social media platforms at Why Me Please Podcast. Share it with everybody in your family, your friend group, your community. As always, we're not the podcast for tea, so why me please? Click, click, click.
Oh, I gotta go. Okay.
And don't forget, if you want our advice, send us an email to advice@whymepleasepodcast.com.